Here in sunny California, life appears to be one pool party after another. Little do I know, there are storm clouds on the horizon.
Uh-oh. Looks like you're starting to burn a little bit.
Oh, that feels good.
I'll take care of that. Thank you very much.
You're soaking wet. And now I am too.
In hindsight, I should have paid more attention to my surroundings. Modesto is swimming with killers. And the danger is around the corner. And close by.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
And it's closing in on me. I'm Dena Raley, and a few months from now, my name will be splashed across the papers. In the worst possible way.
Modesto was very close-knit. Everybody knew each other. We cried together, we prayed together, we laughed together.
1, 2, 3, how about? Yeah, okay.
Despite the ups and downs of my life, no one makes me laugh more than my niece Carrie. She's the daughter I never had.
Okay. Okay, why don't you go stand over there? Let's practice.
She was a cheerleader in high school, and God, she was gorgeous. She had the natural beauty. She had a natural glow. She was more than just an aunt. She made me feel like I had somebody in this world. She was my somebody. She was my person. I just cherished all the time I had with her.
Your turn.
As a teenager, my life took a sharp left turn when my parents divorced. Next thing I know, I'm facing parenthood myself. Instead of following my dream of becoming a lawyer,
Looks good, doesn't it?
I get married right out of high school.
In her first marriage, she married at 18. That one didn't go so well. She had a miscarriage.
I lose the baby and my marriage never recovers. Maybe I don't either.
But right after that, she married again.
She was broken from her previous marriage, and she couldn't have children, and that really affected her. So they also got a divorce.
By the time I'm 30, I'm twice divorced, and I'm not interested in ever getting married again.
You sure you want to get rid of this?
Eric didn't take it. Good riddance.
Any good deals?
Tell me if you see something you like.
And I guess love finds me.
I think I found something. I'm not sure what it's going to cost me. Dinner?
Mark has all the right moves.
I'm Mark. Pleasure to meet you.
Dena.
Mark didn't really seem to care if she couldn't have kids, you know. He just seemed to care about being with her.
Here. I'm really glad you're here. This is your home now.
I fall for Mark quickly and move in with him before I discover that Mark is a ticking time bomb.
I told you to wash the dishes!
Stop it, Mark! You're scaring Carrie.
As their relationship progressed and the more abuse, the less I saw my Aunt Dena and the shorter the visits got. Mark was abusive. He hurt Dena. There was multiple police reports, multiple domestic violence reports. He controlled her.
Mark is arrested, but post bail. And before I know it, he's back in my life.
Thanks for coming. Got you something. I'm sorry, babe. I lost control. I just want what's best for us. You know I'll never stop loving you.
Thanks.
It was one of those typical domestic violence type situations where the boyfriend will beat her and then come back and sweep her off her feet again and say, I was only doing this because I was jealous. I'm only doing it because I love you. And Mark was very charismatic. He was able to win Dena back over and over again.
They were thrown out of their apartment because of fighting, and after they were evicted, Dena went back to live with her mom, but she always took back Mark.
Moving back in with Mark, who's living with his friend Russell,
Hey, welcome home.
means I'll be living with Russell too.
Put your stuff down there, yeah.
Russell Jones was a friend to Mark for many years, and then to Dena when Dena came in the picture. So he's like a friend and a landlord all wrapped in one. Russell's girlfriend, Tracy.
Hello. What's going on?
She didn't live with Russell, but she would come to his house to stay with him.
Tracy, Dena's gonna be staying here a little while.
Cool.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to have another female around.
Russell was a car mechanic. He had some rough edges. He enjoyed partying a lot, but he was always polite to me.
Yeah, there's a pool out back if you like swimming.
I don't have a suit.
No suits necessary.
Maybe when it's warm, Russell.
I like your thinking. You guys like jalapeno poppers? Let's go.
It may not be the most conventional living arrangement, but at least Mark's on good behavior when Russell's around.
I believe Dena felt some sort of safety when she was living at Russell's. He was protective over her.
I finally got to go visit with my Aunt Dena and go for the weekends again, and I was really excited.
My niece Carrie is a real bright spot in my life. But when she isn't around, darkness seems to close in, and I find myself obsessing over a series of gruesome murders in my area.
The park is a residential housing area for park employees.
That discovery was made right beneath Yosemite's spectacularly pristine panorama. A park employee found dead, victim of an apparent murder, just 3 months after Carol and Julie Sund and friend Salvina Peloso were killed during a sightseeing trip to Yosemite.
Wow, 4 women murdered.
Don't get all wound up. Gotta get another beer.
You got nothing to worry about.
We had all these murders happening in Yosemite.
Almost in every case, these fatalities are always isolated incidents. You know, I think it's worth noting that the park is really a safe
And because Modesto is almost a gateway to Yosemite, people thought that there could have been someone going around murdering people in this area.
The whole idea makes my skin crawl. A psycho targeting women in Modesto. I no longer feel safe with Mark. Or anywhere else.
Someone's after me.
It's okay. You're safe with me.
I wish Mark were here.
I got you, baby. I got you.
I kind of understood their roommate situation, but it kind of felt to me like it was a little bit more for him. I think maybe he had feelings for my Aunt Dena, but she just kept telling me that they were just friends. Oh, her roommate, her friend.
No one can ever know. What was that?
Somebody's here.
In a moment of weakness, I made an impulsive decision. And now I'm afraid of someone finding out. I'm right to be scared, because in 6 months, I'll be dead.
He's just my friend, Mark. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just stay away from
Things are deteriorating between Mark and I. He lashes out, and I dish it right back. But in the back of my mind, I'm worried that he knows about my one-night stand with Russell.
I can see it. I'm not
And he might not be the only one that's suspicious.
Haven't you seen the way he looks at you? Stay away from him. What's going on? One of these days, she's gonna push me too far.
Dena and Russell had had a one-night fling, so it was a one-time incident, and they didn't want to get in trouble with their significant others.
Hey, Dena. Tracy, you scared me. What did you think I was gonna do?
I didn't see you. Sorry, I'm thinking about those poor women in Yosemite.
Oh, yeah. Guess you always gotta watch your back, huh?
It's a scary time. You've got somebody out here snatching women up and killing them. It was bad.
I can't get the Yosemite killer out of my mind. But what I don't realize is that there is another monster lurking in the shadows. A creep named Matthew Lunchslugger, who hasn't made the headlines yet.
No water spots on that window, huh? This is my baby. Hey, guys. Check out my new toy.
Whoa.
Bang.
Mark, what are you thinking?
Now you're not gonna have to worry about any serial killers coming around. Hey, you can't have that here. I'm on parole. It's fine.
I had no idea Russell's sordid past. I guess no matter how much you think you know someone, you never really do.
It's fine, man. Nobody's gonna know. No, it ain't fine. I'm gonna know.
Russell Jones was on parole. He had committed a gun violation in Kansas and, in fact, had served some time in prison. And so he was just trying to lay low, get his parole time over so that he would be a completely free man.
I have a right to protect myself. No, you just lost your membership to Club Russell. Get out! Out!
Both of you!
Before I beat you in. I ain't playing with you.
Being on parole, Russell Jones could be searched at any time. We find a gun and off he goes to prison, and he knew that. So he did not want that gun in the house.
Guess I really messed up, huh?
Yeah, I guess you did.
Mark may have had an inkling that Russell was trying to date Dena. I believe that Mark knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, I'll see ya.
Guess so.
They ended up leaving each other, and this is when Russell told Dena that she could rent the master bedroom by herself.
You sure Tracy won't mind me staying?
No. She comes and goes as she pleases. Besides, she doesn't pay rent. Come on.
I would go to my Aunt Dena's on the weekends, and we would just hang out. I liked my Aunt Dena being away from Mark. I liked the new arrangement, and Russell was there to protect her.
Time for bed.
Okay.
I'll come tuck you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay. Good night. Good night, Russell.
Good night. You know, Dena, I've been thinking about that night we had together. I think that now that Mark's gone, you should break away from him for good, and you and I can...
Listen, Russell. What happened that night between us, that was a one-time thing.
Russell was strictly just a friend. She had no romantic interest whatsoever.
I know Russell cares for me, but I have to give Mark one last chance.
Is it possible that this is a case where
So we visit a favorite hideaway that we both love. But it's near Yosemite, and I can't drop the unease I feel being so close to a killing ground.
Just up the road in Yosemite is where they found that woman's body.
Her head was...
I don't know why you keep going on about that.
You know what else is nearby? Russell's parents. They have a place in Yosemite.
Russell? Who cares? He kicked us out.
Kicked you out?
Enough about Russell!
This would be the last time he would scare me. But unfortunately, my freedom from Mark's control would be very short-lived. After breaking up with Mark, hopefully for good this time, I've had a few days trying to get my life back on track. Today, I'm helping my Aunt Linda move into her new husband's place.
Turn it.
Now what?
Well, I got an idea.
Okay.
My Aunt Dena was happy, and she was finally finding her will to stand on her own 2 feet and get her life where she wanted it. She was finally finding that freedom, everything that she wanted.
Look who it is!
Calvary has arrived. You know?
Linda.
Linda. Oh, hey. Oh, no. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Gotcha.
Oh. Come on, let's get you moved.
I got you. Wow.
Thanks for all your help again yesterday.
No problem. I just hope Linda's husband realized how much baggage she was bringing into that marriage. Yellow.
Russell, it's Mark. Let me talk to Dena.
Oh, hey, Mark. She's out right now.
I know she's there. Let me talk to her.
Okay, will do.
Thank you.
She left Mark. She was getting away from him. Of course she wouldn't answer his calls. She didn't want anything to do with him anymore.
For the first time in a long time, I'm looking forward to going out to blow off some steam. I just wish I had known this would be the last time.
Might not see the light again, but I won't stop trying. Even if I'm gonna fail, doesn't mean that I'll stop trying. I can't give it up, but I'm not your hero.
Hello?
Hello, Linda.
Mark? Well, this is a surprise.
Have you seen Dena? I haven't been able to find her anywhere.
No, I haven't seen her since yesterday. Hello?
In the beginning, the first few days, Mark had called my grandma.
Donna, I'm worried about Dena. I can't get a hold of her.
My grandma's first response was, well, what did you do to her? What did you do to her, Mark?
If you're in an abusive relationship like she was, I assume that she'd just go someplace else. So nobody thought that something bad had happened to her.
And what was your name, sir?
Mark Keogh.
Could you spell that for me, please?
M-A-R-K-K-E-O-U-G-H.
Okay, I can see your name is coming up here. I'm gonna have to go get someone.
Go get someone? I'm just trying to file a missing persons report.
When Mark Keogh reported her missing, it was very suspicious because he had been violent towards her on many occasions. They fought a lot.
Linda?
Hi, Russell. Have you seen Dena?
No, she's not here. I haven't seen her or Mark in a couple days.
I'm really getting worried.
I mean, maybe she just got back with Mark.
I can't find her anywhere.
It wasn't untypical for her to kind of go to ground and hide from him, but for her not to call family or to show up at her job was very, very suspicious to them. So family members came to the police department and made another missing persons report. Mark Keogh had told people he was going to go look for Dena, and he conveniently found her vehicle parked in front of this apartment complex just a few blocks away from his house. And so he reported to the family and to the police, I found Dena's car, here it is, come and see what you can find out.
Officers, it's this one right here.
You are?
Mark Keogh. I'm Dena's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend.
There's blood here.
Blood?
Mark Keogh became the #1 suspect.
Mr. Keogh, why don't you come down to the station with us? We have a few questions.
My car has been found by, of all people, my ex, Mark. Did his rage get so out of control this time that he ended my life?
Officers, it's right here.
Evidence technicians checked the car, and they found a little trace amount of blood on the door handle. So the detectives turned up the heat on Mark Keogh.
You've had a lot of run-ins with the law. Repeated domestic violence offenses.
I know what it looks like, but I didn't hurt Dena.
So you just happened upon her car.
Yeah. She wasn't returning any of my calls. I just wanted to find her.
Did you ever think that maybe she doesn't want you to find her?
She always comes back to me.
His smugness, his attitude, the evil in that man. We just all thought it was him.
The lab results from the car just came back. The blood was Dena's. Keep pressing him.
That could have been the suspect's blood, but it actually ended up being Dena's own blood.
Other than that, there was really no evidence in the vehicle.
Where is she, Mark?
She was living with Russell Jones. Ask him.
He wanted to help find Dena, wanted to help.
Look, if you're gonna ask any more questions, you're gonna have to talk to my lawyer.
But then he lawyers up. And so that's not somebody that's wanting to help.
With Mark being uncooperative, police turned to my roommate, Russell.
So, how long has Dena Raley lived here?
Off and on for about a year, I guess. But I haven't seen her in a couple days. I figured she got back with her ex, Mark.
Dena's a pretty girl. You two ever?
Yeah, one time. But it didn't go anywhere. Tracy started getting really jealous of us.
Jealous enough to hurt Dena?
Oh, no. She was out of town visiting her folks or something. You can ask her yourself.
One more thing. Would you be willing to come down and take a polygraph?
Russell cared a lot for Dena, and in fact, he wanted to help find Dena. Detectives were able to get a search warrant from Mark's house, so we went to his house and we conducted a search.
What do you got?
Looks like blood. It was in fact blood. It just turned out to be fish blood. And so it was a dead end.
The fact that she'd been in a volatile relationship and she just disappears, always assumed something bad happened. But they didn't have any trail to her. She just disappeared.
There were no new leads, and so her case just kind of slowly died and went away. Dena Raley fit kind of in a category where Modesto was in the news. I mean, we had Chandra Levy, we had the Yosemite murders, and then in addition to all of this, we have Lacey Peterson. The entire nation is drawn to this case.
Who was my Aunt Dena? She was just a single woman, no kids, no politics, no status. She was just an average female in the Modesto area.
But those other cases began to get solved. By the summer of 2002,
That should do it.
Carrie Stainer, a hotel handyman in nearby El Portal, confessed to slaughtering 4 women and dumping their bodies in Yosemite. But police found no connection to my disappearance. Three long years passed for my family. Then, out of the blue, Modesto police receive a strange confession in the mail.
This just came in?
I'm sorry it took me so long to come forward. I buried her after I watched my friend strangle her to death.
An inmate in a prison in Arizona sent the Modesto Police Department a letter saying that he knew where Dena's body was, and this is a big lead.
After all this time, Was my disappearance just a matter of being at the wrong place at the wrong time? Did I simply cross paths
Matthew Lautenschlager?
with a psycho?
Yes.
Modesto police head to Arizona to interview Matthew Lautenschlager. He's now serving life in prison for an attempted murder of a woman during a Southwest crime spree in late 1999. The exact time I disappeared. So it isn't far-fetched that he could be involved in my disappearance.
This guy's in here for life. Started off with burglary and worked his way up to attempted murder.
Left hand, please.
Yeah, well,
I need your cooperation to hook up the equipment.
I'm just, I don't know what's wrong with me. Actually, I do. I don't know this girl at all. I just wrote this letter and made this up so we can meet and have this chat, and I can get out of my cell. It's so dark and lonely in there. It's not really nice.
The only thing he confesses to is that everything he said, he lied about it. He made it up.
You think something's funny about this, Lautenschlager?
The look on your faces.
Get him out of here.
Everything in the letter is a lie. And his claims of burying me are all made up. He has no idea where my body is.
Piece of work.
He admitted he thought it would be fun, interesting to mess with people's lives. I mean, that was outright disrespectful. That was like a spit in our face.
The years go by. Chandra Levy's body is found in Washington, D.C. Lacey Peterson's husband, Scott, is arrested for her murder. And still, my case lies dormant.
What are you working on, Sarge?
Paper wants to feature a cold case. Looking for an interesting one.
I remember a good one from when I was on patrol. Raley. Dena Raley.
8 years before, I had been involved in the search warrant when Dena had first become missing.
Wait. All yours.
I'll get right on it.
And I thought the boyfriend got away with that one. When I started reading, I came to one little memorandum that said, Russell Jones refused to take a polygraph.
One more thing. Would you be willing to come down and take a polygraph?
I'd rather not right now. Maybe this thing comes a little more serious, like a murder or something.
If you're a friend and want to help out, why would you refuse to take a polygraph? What do you have to hide? And so I thought, I'm going to follow up on this.
Russell Jones? Craig Plant, Modesto PD. How's it going, man?
Hey.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
What's it about?
Your old roommate, Dena Raley.
Oh. A long time ago. I thought you guys gave up on her.
I was able to hit it off with Russell right off the bat because we're about the same age, and we went fishing locally, and so we had a lot of stuff in common that would build a bond to make him think, hey, I'm a buddy, and we're just talking.
Look, man, if you're not busy, would it be cool if you came down to the station? Take only a half hour.
Half hour? Yeah, let me get my coat.
Appreciate that. Won't take long.
All right.
We get to the police department, and I take Russell into an interview room, and he doesn't know it, but we're being monitored off in another room while I talk with him.
Have a seat. Let me go get a notepad real quick. You get the nice chair. I see how you are. I get the swivel back. Let me go get a notepad real quick. What did Mark think about her moving back in with you?
He was jealous to start with.
Well, me and Dena did have one time together, which I told the officers about. But when he found out, he was just really livid about it.
I mean, is there any reason you wouldn't take a poly right now?
Well, the only one, I don't know a damn thing about polygraph. I know that it's, blood pressure, temperature, everything else there. And, that can change, if I misinterpret a question, I mean, all of a sudden, ding, 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 ding.
Right.
And
So you're worried you're going to get blamed for something that you have nothing to do with.
Uh-huh.
And so the more I talked to him, the more the hair on my arm stood up, and I knew without any doubt that he was involved.
And I've tried to tell the truth every time I've came in. I've tried to tell the truth today.
I know you've tried, but hey, Russell,
I don't know.
But Russell, you need to stop trying and start doing. Okay. After about 8 hours of this, Russell finally stood up and says, "I need to go home." And the detectives didn't want to arrest Russell at that moment because there was no evidence. And so over the weekend, we just let him kind of stew on it. On Monday morning, I went and got my favorite detective, and we went out to Russell's apartment to talk with him again.
Russell, hypothetically, do you think that we could find Dena today?
Hypothetically, yes.
And I was like stunned. It's like, we're really getting somewhere.
Hypothetically, is she within 100 miles?
Hypothetically, yes.
And Russell goes, "I got a hypothetical for you guys. If you're on parole and you wake up in the morning and there's a pound of dope on your kitchen table,
what are you gonna do?"
I don't know. What?
You gotta get rid of it.
And so the bells were just going off in my head. He's talking about Dena.
Hypothetically, where would you dump Dena's body?
She's at my parents' house over by Yosemite. Yep, she's just over there.
Well, they were really unable to determine the cause of death, but there was no obvious bullet hole or knife wound in any of the bones.
We have arrested Russell Jones. He's a 47-year-old male who resides in Modesto. He was arrested and booked last night at about 9 p.m. in the Stanislaus County Jail for one count of murder.
Dena was a very important part of our family. We've missed her, and now to be able to bring her home, have a Christian burial, and a place to go is worth more than anything than any of us could ever know.
The next logical questions are, well, how did she get there, Russell? What happened?
Hurry up! Still catch happy hour.
He said, we were at the bar. We're both drinking, we're both getting drunk.
I still can't get over how good you look tonight.
Thanks.
And he said, I didn't have any money on me.
Your turn to buy around.
Oh, I'm a little short. Can you spot me a 20?
What?
And so I borrowed $20 from her.
All right, loser.
Don't call me that. Can we get another round?
We came home and she goes, where's my effing 20?
Pay you back, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you said you'd pay me back when we got home. I want my money.
And he said she wouldn't shut up about it.
Enough about your money!
And so I punched her. And he goes, she died right there. I said, one punch killed her? He goes, yeah. And he goes, I wrapped her in a tarp. and I poured diesel oil over her so that when she started decomposing, animals wouldn't dig her up. I think Russell Jones lied to me also. Even Mike Tyson doesn't do a one-punch knockout, kill a person kind of blow.
Police will never know if I was killed with one punch, like Russell claims.
Russell, what are you doing?
Or if it was something much more sinister. But luckily for Russell, the truth will never come out.
They don't know the exact reason why he murdered her. He could have possibly been in love with her, and he probably knew that Mark was still somewhat in the picture.
You're supposed to get closure from finally finding her. There still is not a closure for me. Russell took the one person from my life that I needed most. She was so loving and so soft and fragile. It took a toll on the whole family.
The problem with the case was the only thing they have is Russell's confession. So they had to settle on the best crime they could agree on, which was manslaughter. And the judge sentenced him to 11 years. Russell Jones is out somewhere right now as we speak.
Some people are evil on the surface, and others hide their wickedness well. Russell betrayed me when his dark side emerged, and he took me away from my family forever.